The Northeast Texas Community College Eagle staff recently participated in the 2021 TIPA Virtual Conference and won a total of 37 awards, including an Individual Excellence Award for Reporter of the Year. TIPA, short for Texas Intercollegiate Press Association, is the largest and oldest organization of its kind in the U.S. While this is an outstanding achievement for the Eagle newspaper staff, today we are taking a closer look at what goes on in the newsroom and how the college newspaper comes to life.
Well, it starts with collecting ideas and articles. We need to find the news on campus. Sometimes it comes to us, sometimes we have to go out and find it ourselves. Then we have to assign the stories, or sometimes people will volunteer to write them depending on what their interests are. As editors, we assist them in the writing process. We go to interviews with them, we set up interviews, we help them write the questions. We start writing, then we edit, then we go back and get additional interviews as needed. We also go out and take photographs of the subject, whether it be a soccer game, a feature on a teacher, a cafeteria riot, whatever it may be. It's our responsibility to go and show people that it's happening, not just tell them about it.
After the editing process, we get to do the really fun part, and we get to lay out the pages and make sure everything fits together perfectly. And sometimes it can be tedious. We stay up here long nights. Usually we start by choosing our photos because that's the easiest thing to do. You just go through, and then you have to make sure that everything fits together, like the story length, the picture size, all the elements that a lot of people don't notice on a newspaper, such as the cut lines, the photo credits, even the size of the headlines matters.
So now that you learned how the newspaper is put together, let's see what others think.
And what really stands out is how professional it looks. And I have people say that around the communities, and I usually end up taking those to high schools whenever I visit high schools. And everyone is very impressed with how professional it looks and the number of stories. It's a pretty large paper for such a small community college, and for it to come out 8 times a year is pretty amazing in itself.
Mandy Smith, journalism professor and advisor for the Eagle, is an essential character for this operation. She tells us more about her passion for journalism as a career, and her goals for her students.
I tell my students we have one of the best programs because they get the opportunity that a lot of students don't get. They can go over and interview the president about something that's happening. They get to tell stories that a lot of our students will never get the opportunity to interview someone, and then they get to write that. They have opportunities to win awards. So it just gives them the opportunity to step outside the normal classroom setting and just really see what is it like to be, to tell the story of this campus. Our goal is that they leave here. They leave NTCC with having written, taken photographs, laid out the newspaper, edited, posting for our social media sites. I always kind of like to feel like I've given them enough experience that they could leave here, go to a small newspaper, and immediately walk in the doors and go to work. I always kind of say we're not really nosy, we're just inquisitive. So if you're kind of curious and you want to know and you think everyone has a story, I think everyone has a story. And I tell my students that. I say, I think everyone that walks in here, give me a few minutes, let me begin to talk to them and find out, and I guarantee everyone has a story to tell. And if you are like that, you want to hear those stories and you want to share those stories and tell those stories, it's just a great field to go into, and one that you will never get bored at.